Hi there, I'm Gary, welcome to my channel, and in this look at the Vintage Vault I've got an Airfix James Bond Autogyro in 1/12 scale. This kit was sent to me by Robert Harris, so thanks a million Bob. If you enjoy the video, don't keep it to yourself, give it the imperial thumbs up, hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. It's free and a great way to show your support. Little Nelly was a modified Wallace WA116 Autogyro that appeared in the 1967 James Bond movie You Only Live Twice. Airfix were quick off the mark to release it as a kit under the James Bond brand in the same year. The kit was re-released in 1996 again as simply the James Bond Autogyro, then in 1998 as a starter set with glue, paint and a brush. This is the 1996 kit, the 1967 original being able to command very high prices on auction sites. So let's make a start by looking at the box the kit comes in. Okay, so here is the box of the James Bond Autogyro in 1/24 scale from Airfix. It's branded, of course, with 007 symbology. On the front is a picture showing Sean Connery in his James Bond pose, flying the Autogyro known as Little Nelly in the movie You Only Live Twice, and shooting down 4 Spectre helicopters. That's all very nice. Interestingly, the firearm here, that was actually an air pistol used for one of the original shoots. They kept on the shape of it. That's not what a Volta PPK looks like at all, which of course was his preferred weapon. That's an air pistol from a photo shoot. But you know, we're picking. I don't think he'd be flying in dinner suit, but there we go. It's a skill level 2 kit, so ideally if you've made something before it would help, but it's not impossible for a complete beginner to make. On the side here, there's more information. Little Nelly, designed by Ken Wallace and used in the movie You Only Live Twice. On this side, a few little bits and pieces of warnings, not for children under 36 months, Ideally, people 8 years old and over. 101 parts. Overall size 138mm long, 252mm across, which I'm going to guess is the blade span, and the kit itself, the actual Autogyro, is 138mm left. There are some paint callouts here as well, none of which are included. For the 2 versions, there's one like an army evaluation aircraft, and then there's the one in the movie as well. Anyway, so that's the box. Let's have a look and see what we get inside. So it's an end opening box. These days this would be a top opening box, but it's an end opening box in those days. Something I didn't mention on the back here is it comes with 2 flying hours. This must have been right at the early days of the flying hours system. Anyway, inside here we have a soft bag full of the plastic parts. We have the instruction sheet doesn't seem to be that terribly well organised, but we'll have a look at that in a bit. There's the Decals sheet and another information sheet about something or other. These are probably just warnings. Anyway, we'll have a look at all these different bits and pieces in a bit more detail. Unlike modern kits, there are no numbered or named frames. So anyway, this frame has the spine of the aircraft, the tail fin and the control column, and the 2 halves of the front nacelle, the front fuselage. On this frame we have essentially the weapons for the James Bond version, so air-to-air missiles, flamethrowers, rocket pods and so forth, and machine guns, and one of the 2 rotor blades. On this frame, the other rotor blade, rotor hub assembly, the control panel, fuel tank I'm guessing, and parts for the undercarriage and other bits and pieces. Here we have the engine. It's a flat 4 engine, propeller, parts of the engine structure and shrouds and things like that. And this is probably a towing arm or something like that. for the aircraft. Here we have more parts of the undercarriage, another bit of the towing arm, and I think this is the top plate of the rotor here that joins the two rotor blades together. More weapons, and the wheels, of course. And finally we have the pilot figure. I guess this is supposed to be Sean Connery. One of the arms has fallen off. Anyway, the body, which of course we're going to do. Of course we're going to do this. Of course we're going to include it. Why would we not when we build this? There is also a transparent part, the windshield for the Little Nelly version. The parts are okay. The printing isn't too bad. The moulding, there's lots of bits falling off. There's lots of bits that. Let me just take this off. There's no point having it on. Let's see. There's a spot there. That's actually because there's supposed to be a hole there to drill things through. The gun port for the machine guns. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that, whether we're supposed to sort of drill that out or cut that out or what. I don't know yet. These are for supporting various weapons and whatever, so they are going to need cutting out. Some of the moulding parts are a little bit wrong. There's some moulding error here. There's a bit of flash here. It's just a bit sort of distorted there. It's not terrible, but you look at it and you think, no, I'm going to need to just tidy that up. And don't know I should have to, but these all are relatively old moulds. This is the spine, the fin here. And they look okay. The sort of riveting around the fin base there looks all right. Not terrible. Sink marks on the control column there, which I'll have to repair. Other frames. Other frames generally, again, it's the same sort of thing. They're not great, but they're not awful. It's a kit showing its age. The instrument panel here is fairly basic. That's why they say, sand all of that off and put the decal on it. You could dry brush that, because that's the army version. You could dry brush that and paint in some markings if you wanted to. I guess the throttle and mixture controls fairly basic, but it's all right. I guess there's sort of rudder pedals and stuff. There's the fuel tank there. They're not badly made. They're just not very excitingly sharp. The engines here, flat 4 2-stroke engine. Just basic load of fins. The joint on those with all those fins is going to look awful, but we'll get around that somehow. It's not the largest amount of flash I've seen on an old kit from Airfix, I have to say. So, it could be a lot worse. The propeller looks okay. Edges are a bit rough, but the prop itself looks all right. And then we come to Commander Bond himself. Fairly unconvinced by the sculpting of the face, but it is what it is, really. It's of an age. There's a bit of fill-in here on the cheek here that should really continue round, like on the other side. Yeah, you see earphone covers should follow round, and then that really needs to be sanded down, maybe even cut out, sanded down. It's got a chin strap on which would follow up here, but beneath the chin strap area, this bit here really should be taken out and dealt with, unless of course in the movie it's different, but I don't think so. As I say, the face is not terribly convincingly James Bond, but it will do. We'll just paint some anonymous figure on there. The sort of light flying suit, short sleeves shirt, racily rolled up shirt sleeves, of course. Yeah, it's. I'm sure it'll build into something that can be painted and look vaguely like James Bond's flying it, but I don't think it's going to be much of a portrait of Sean Connery. So here's the decal sheet on the left half, or left portion. So here's the decal sheet. Left portion is given up to the aircraft Little Nelly from the Bond movie, and on the right here is the Wallace Autogyro, I should say, as it was during its evaluation time with the Army Air Corps. It has a military registration. Little Nelly has a civilian registration, and there are differences in the instrument panels. Of course, Little Nelly has got lots of rockets and flamethrowers and all sorts of other things to have on its control panel. The colours look okay, but we'll have a closer look at them in any case. One thing that certainly doesn't fill me with joy when I start looking at a decal sheet is the alignment check here, and you can see it's out of alignment. So the black and the silver in particular are the things that are out of alignment, and you can see it here, how they're not lined up. Also shows slightly on the instrument decals here. You can see this shade, this sort of bright bit here. Shouldn't be there. That should all be lined up. It's not the end of the world, and it is only the silver. I'm guessing, because of the way decals are, that the actual edges, either they wrap over the ends and you never see them because they meet up with their opposite number on the other side, or they don't fill the whole fin anyway and you have to touch up the ends to get them to look right. Doesn't really matter. I'm sure it'll be fine. If you are doing the Army version, the fin flashes look really nice, solid colours. The markings on the tail, X-Ray Romeo 9042, and the orange stripes. I don't know whether they were actually orange or whether they were day glow. If you're building this yourself, you could research that, and if you find out they're day glow, then paint them in day glow, and then just keep the registration numbers for use. I'll be building Little Nelly anyway, so it's not all that much of an issue. So apart from the slight mismatch of the silver, grey and the black, the decals are actually not all that bad. The instructions are old school Airfix. This is obviously a reprint from an original. This is 1996, so it's reprinted. But anyway, basic information about the Autogyro and its use in the movie, actually, which is very interesting, in English, French, German, Spanish and Swedish. On the inside here are just some general bits of advice in many, many languages, and the translations of all the icons, again, in about a dozen different languages here. The instructions come as a double gatefold A4 size sheet, and there are paint schemes at the end here for the military trials version and of course the cinematic version. The instructions are relatively straightforward, slightly sort of exploded diagram compared with absolutely modern, but not outrageously so. It's always good comparing. Here, for example, they just tell you what the part number is and what colour to paint it. They don't actually tell you that it glues onto that bit, but you can tell from the following illustration. It's always the way. The following illustrations normally give you a pretty good indication of what you should have done here if it's not immediately obvious. Anyway, so you have the spine of the aircraft, you have the fuel tank and the rotor hub and axle, control parts, bits and pieces all go on. The engine goes together fairly straightforwardly. These parts are presumably air filters and or exhausts, or both, of course. Here the connections from the control column to the rotor hub, and that's the back of the seat and the actual pad of the seat. There's different control setups here for Little Nelly and the Army version. They say to sand off anything that's there and get it blank, and then put the decal straight on there. Undercarriage there. Rotors go on here, undercarriage goes in here. These are the various flight controls, throttles, things like that. This is a control lock for transportation. If you want to move the thing around, you can put the rotors into a locked position. And of course, we have the pilot. If you're doing Little Nelly, you can have Sean Connery as well. And then there's a forward aero shell, if you like, with machine guns inside, of course. And the controls then are on the outside of the aero shell for Little Nelly. There's some more weaponry to go on Little Nelly, of course, because it's made up. And that's the instructions. They're pretty straightforward. So there it is. I just know I've got to make this as the James Bond Autogyro, although a large part of me wants to be different and make the Army Trials version. Maybe I'll get another one and do just that. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please do remember, give it the old Imperial thumbs up, hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to see you again on another Vintage Vault video very soon. Take good care and goodbye for now.